So, hello everybody. I'm going to try to show how to fix a bug in CanJS so that you can contribute your own bug fixes and help the CanJS project immensely. So, with me is Mark, and
Hello.
he'll be kind of chaperoning my code as I write it. So let's begin. I'm going to start. We're going to fix this bug that um, I'm going to butcher the name, Yaroslav Sev, posted about bugs with can model. The first thing I'm going to do is get CanJS. You guys should typically, people who are not contributing members should fork it, and then you'll clone your fork. I'm just going to clone directly from CanJS. So in kind of my development folder that's hosted, I'm going to clone my branch of CanJS, which is just going to be CanJS. And I'm going to specify the folder I want it to go into. I already have a CanJS folder, so I'm just going to call this like CanJS dev. And yeah.
I didn't know if you had aliased it.
Once this is cloned, I'm going to go into that folder and run an npm install. And I can't remember if I need to run Bower or not, but while the npm is installing, I'm going to set up Sublime here to open that folder I just created. And let's see what happened with this. Okay, it isn't doing the Bower, so Bower will be installed automatically. And once I have this, I should be able to open up CanJS dev and test like the jQuery test suite. So I can run CanJS dev test jQuery.html, and all of the tests should pass. I believe there's going to be one test that's breaking because I'm not hosting directly within the CanJS folder, although that should be fixed any minute now. Let's make sure that all tests are passing first, or all except for that one push state test, which is that one that just ran. Let's see. Yep, that one push state test is breaking, but don't worry about that. Everything should pass. This is just a temporary breakage. I can make sure that everything is passing for, like, really passing if I run grunt test, and this will run the same test that we run in the Travis CI. So this should definitely work if you pull the latest master, even if this isn't working right now, although this should typically work. So while that's running, I'm going to start setting up my test. So the problem, so normally someone kind of provides test code. You probably know what your bug is. I'm going to have to kind of create the test that's breaking, because essentially what's happening is CanJS in can model should be using a type of instead of just checking that full name is a string. So this is a problem with model. So I'm going to open up model. I'm going to kill Aptana so I stop going there. I'm going to open up model and find its tests, model tests. I can actually go to model test.html if I want to run just models tests, which is nice and will run a lot faster. And then I'll go to the bottom and add a new test. We tend to always add tests that have an issue with the number, the issue number. So I might say for this first one, a model defined with a full name has find all working. Try to give a nice descriptive name of the problem. So let's see what happened. So some assertion failed. I wonder if it's related to the same one. But I'm actually not seeing any fails. Oh, phantom timed out. If that happens, just refresh. That just means some test was taking a long time. Phantom was slow. We probably need to increase our maybe my computer's running slow right now. So I'm gonna write a test. This is gonna be a can. I'm gonna make a can model. And I'm going to give it something that should hopefully break it, which is a find all. Or anything in the static actually should break. I think even if I just put a property. Oh no, it's going to be only ones that are kind of go through that. Only things that actually hit. Probably should have figured out exactly how I wanted to write the test before giving this example, but it's going to be only things that
1099.
I can cut this out if I need to. It's going to be only things where like static is wrong, or static props are used, or proto props. Well, I guess that actually should, well, where either one is used. So static props really aren't used. Let's check about proto props. So proto-props are used, but not correctly here.
Right.
So really, static props aren't even really used. It's mostly just about the warning then. Or this. If static props and there's a list, it's going to make sure that that list has a map back to. So we could actually use that because static prop will not be the right thing. So I'm going to change my test code to define a list. This should be a cam list. So here, at the end of this,
change my map to list as well, and as the property. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, at the end of this, if I'm understanding this right, static props will be true, but there won't be a static list. So really, the list's map property would not equal this model. So really, I should be able to assert equal list.map is my .model. I'll have to cut out that sneeze.
Bless you.
So I will do a nice assertion, which will be like, and then I'll save this and make sure it breaks. Good, it's breaking. I can run just that one test by clicking the rerun button. And now I'm going to try to fix it. The fix should be for this as simple as doing type of here. Hooray.
Okay.
And then there's another problem that was identified, which is essentially parse models isn't going to work right because it's going through and checking proto-props here and then doing the base model thing. So parsers. So where is that? Oops. Make sure. Base model. Yeah. So what it's doing is if proto-props, then it's going to be overwriting the base model or the base parse model and parse models. So that needs to get changed. So I'm going to create another test that hopefully breaks. Right, so this is surprise and not prototype properties, so it's always going to hit that, and it's always going to. This is to do the overwriting stuff. So I'm actually not sure. So overwrite tries to set it up so it will call its base functionality if there's a super involved, I believe. Oh, this is kind of, we have to create a parse model. So if no model and no parse model, create a parse model. This is if it's there, it's going to. So there's a little bit of confusion here because although this code is definitely wrong, I'm trying to figure out what this code was doing. The issue is we're trying to be backwards compatible. So we still have the old kind of broken parse or the old broken models behavior that you can write that, but if you add a parse model, it works. So if it was a string, right? I'm going to set up. So if model was a string, we're going to set something up. And then if there was nothing, then we're going to create a parse model. function because model, I think, calls parse models. Let's see here. He's making a joke because I always take him to horrible movies, and he he wants to let me know there's another horrible movie coming that I could take him to.
I want to
Make
see
him go through.
I want to see the new Transformers movie.
I made him go to Transformers 2, and he's hated me ever since then. We both wanted to walk out. It is a terrible movie.
Whatever.
He's really bad. Okay, initializers, model, data. Okay. That's what I'm going to be looking. Okay. There's models. There's model. Okay, so if there's a parse model, it's going to try to do the parse model method. So basically, we need to make sure that if they didn't provide a base, if they didn't provide us a parse model or a model, we're going to add a parse model. That's what this is checking. So what we could do to break this is basically, well, we could provide a proto, and it would never hit here, presumably, right?
It's true, false. Correct. I think. Proto.
Or, so if no proto props or not either of these, we're going to write it. So actually what we could give it is a static parse model, and this would presumably, this should be saying, oh, it's there, don't actually do it. So let's try that. Does it parse models take its? I'm surprised it doesn't take an argument the way that these do. Okay, I'm actually going to kind of walk through and make sure this is hitting our case before I totally write the test because I really want to understand it better. So here, I went to model, and the load. What line was that? 1226. So, why would I have a models if not? Proto props is the static, which is weird. Something else is weird. There's another bug in this.
Was it because did we give it a name? I can't remember.
Why are those two things the same? So this is working, but okay, this should be that. So perhaps, wait. Oh, this is the, wait, oh, I'm on the wrong test. I'm being dumb. 5.3.
54.
Yeah. Okay. It should still be getting.
There we go. Okay.
This is still not right. Proto-prop should just be an object.
Right, which is what you passed in. Um,
Proto. Self. Superclass static prototype. Why static null? Is running here. Full name, class, proto.
okay, part of an object.
T. Make arguments. Arguments must be have been changed. Where would arguments? I wonder. It's probably because we're hitting that horrible. This is going to be a while till we get our what we want out of it. Yeah. I missed one. You know, I'll just be a little bit easier on myself and go to the test. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, actually, full name, class. So when it gets down to arguments, where was that?
There it was. It's can.make array arguments.
Where?
I didn't catch the line number though. Right there, 397. There you go.
So arguments. So arguments has a null. So this is, I think, a problem because we're changing the values. So we're actually modifying arguments. I hate that you can do that in CanJS or in JavaScript.
Right.
Yeah, so we need to fix that. That's actually a bug-ish. That's a bug in really CanConstruct.
Oh.
Which is, I haven't had one of those in a long time. So let's fix CanConstruct.
Construct test.
Yeah. So what we want to do is make sure that what is it? Setup called with original arguments. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. JS Hint didn't like scream at us for doing this. So I'm going to do my thing, my construct equals can.construct extend, and I'm just going to extend it like I did before. Project 1. I'm just going to make sure, except that I'm going to provide this a setup method. And I'm going to make sure that the arguments that this is passed are the same arguments that are passed here.
Okay.
Wonder how many things we're actually going to break the code base because of this. I bet that's why it was someone was writing proto properties. They were just like, oh, it is. I don't know why it's called proto even though it's a static. It just broke everything. Okay. Okay, so this is breaking. Let's fix this. So the easiest way to fix this is just don't mess with the arguments.
Right.
Where is extend here? This is a hacky way of doing it, just a prettier way, but I just want to make sure this is going to work. Better would probably be to create like another set of variables to use throughout this code so that people can kind of see what the, it's nice to leave in the actual kind of expected arguments so that people can people can deal with that. You know what I mean? Like people can
Right.
kind of see the function and know, yeah. But I want to make sure that this would fix it. Does not fix it. Why? Let's see. It's different, but it's not fixed. Did I do my thing wrong? No.
Will you go back to your test?
Hold on. Ugh, we gotta get on the new steel.
Okay.
Oh, that's the base class. That's why. That is actually right. So there should be base. Okay, now it's right. Hooray! Okay, so we fixed that.
Probably run all the can construct tests just to make sure that that doesn't.
Yeah. I'm sure if something else is like there's other places this is all gonna break because well, let me first get what we want passing. So 12 something. Just make sure this is called right. What?
Well, it's not null anymore.
Oh, because these are wrong. There's no full name. That's why. That's fine. That's what it. Full name is not. It's just doing. It needs to do the same kind of conversion. But again, this is just like a never-ending problem. Because again, we shouldn't be changing the function, arguments. Well, I don't think anything in here is actually using arguments.
Right. I have not seen an arguments reference.
So it's probably okay. But it's still, at least it should line up now. That's good. Okay. So now in here, if not proto, but we did provide it. So this is going to be breaking. Because it's weird. I just want to see what this code does. See, it should, oh, if it's nothing is passed, it's just going to use data. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. That is expected. So in this case, something is passed, and it should sure as heck be using model data. So if we did something like var my model, or so if we did something like var data equals my model dot parse model, and passed it something like my model data ID1, they should have 1 on it. This is not going to work.
Right.
Good. But now if we change it to static props, this should now work. Damn! What happened? Data is undefined. Okay, that's weird. Let's try to understand that. Come on, get me out of here. Getting everything. I'm just gonna skip it. Where did it go? I'll just go to model. Okay. Actually, yeah, this kind of, well, let's see here. It should never even get to that code because it should see really should be getting in here and doing this kind of thing. Self parse model should be equal to a string. It should be making a parser for that. Prop should be model data, should be returning this function and setting that as constructor parse model equals that function. Let me just label that so I can see. Make sure that that's like legit. And then make sure that when I go, what is this? Parse models. Oh, yeah, who cares? Now this should have an ID on it. Does. So why the hell is this not working? Get object. Here's the data. It has model data. Prop is model data. Prop. Why is that not returning? You know what? I wonder if this is working out. It's just dumb and didn't. My test is probably broken. So this should root. I wrote MADA data. I'm dumb. I should assume the test.
Blame me, I didn't catch it. There you go.
Model data. Okay, and now I bet it works. Hooray! Okay, so now that's fixed. Make sure that everything else is working. Make sure all model works. I'm going to run all the full tests. That jQuery test page. So this is fine because this will be fixed. You should normally see nothing. Now I'm going to run the grunt.js hint task to make sure that that's going to pass. And there's some things it doesn't like. So let's start fixing those. And can't construct on full name. There's no. Oh. There's white space. White space. The test has a myConstruct, but it's never used. So we don't need this. Excuse me. And then it doesn't like my model put on the window on the model test. I forgot, how do we deal with this? Do we deal with it? Yeah, so we just make these global. Should probably just make one. What I mean is we should just change all of our globals that we're testing to my dots, so we only have to have one global. Okay, it's lint-free, and then I would run a JS, I would run grunt test. Make sure that all passes. But I'm not going to wait for that for right now, even though you should. And then I'm going to do a commit. And say reference what it fixes. You guys might want to write fixes, but I think this automatically closes GitHub, so I don't want to do that. I would just say, actually I think it only closes it once it's in master, so that's fine. Fixes, and then a description of what it does, how it works.
And checking the type of full name.
Yeah. So I should have done this. Actually, I'm in branch master. You guys can do that in your master, but I need to push into a branch. So I don't have this memorized because I'm not a Git master, even though I run this all the time. I need to do this in a branch, so I'm going to do git reset soft head. And then I'm going to make a branch related to the problem. Sometimes we just do it by the issue number. Fixes.
Yeah, 1034.
Check out that branch. And then I will make that commit, and then I'm going to push to GitHub, but you would push to your local. I'm going to push to Bitovi's CanJS, but you would push to your local. And then if you go check out your repository on GitHub, you'll notice that it has a pull request. You can submit that pull request against Bitovi CanJS. Provide some information. I always make sure that I'm linking directly in here. And then kind of clean up the pull request. Always make sure, yeah, fixes that. If there's more description you want to give around like what the problem was, and maybe what else to do. So And I still need to go back, or maybe Mark needs to go back for me. And it'd be great to change it so that we have the arguments up here, like full name, class, proto, but we use like an alias in here, so we're not changing the, it could even be full name. But that require a lot of fine replace that I don't want to do right now for this video. So I'm going to submit my pull request. And that's it. Cool. That all makes sense, Mark?
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you.
Now I'll take extend on can construct and
yeah, clean it up a little bit so like the arguments can still be visible to people.
Yes, yes. I'll just reassign them so that the ones that are getting mutated are.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, man.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.